I don't know if you guys saw over the weekend, or I think it was like last week sometime. This Alan Richson did a very bad interview, an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, where he's like, Trump bad, Christians bad for liking Trump, this, that, and the other thing. Like, it was in general not that, like, I mean, really not that smart, considering probably the people that watch your show. Now, there's nothing inherently like conservative or Republican or Trumpian about Reacher, but I can certainly imagine it's probably not a huge favorite of soy-infused beta males. And so he comes out and he says, I don't understand these Christians and their support of Donald Trump. He called him something heinous, something that would be a illegal, libelous statement, to be quite honest. He may be a good guy. You may think his words are being twisted and read wrong, but I don't know. There's really nothing wrong. I mean, he's a Christian, according to his own words. He just hates Trump. Is basically it. Basically it. And is he the worst, like, neo-lib Hollywood weirdo, talking about trans and kids, all that kind of stuff? No. He's basically just a run-of-the-mill, liberal. But he has, saying that Trump is an R word, that's not, there's no twist in that. He said that Donald Trump, like, took someone against their will. That is obviously a false statement. It's okay if he doesn't like Trump, obviously. But I just think, like, the week before you release an action movie is probably not the best time to alienate half your audience. Like Michael Jordan said something pretty smart, in that Republicans buy sneakers too. And now I don't think that his comments, I'm not that crazy. Like, I don't think his comments are why the movie flopped, but it flopped like big time. Mega hating Alan Richson's bombs at the box office. Ungentlemanly Warfare debuts fourth with just $9 million. Has Henry Cavill, by the way, no disrespect, I like Henry Cavill, okay? So just so we're clear, I like Henry Cavill. Has a single movie he's been in made money? Like, I'm genuinely asking. I guess he was a side character in a Mission Impossible movie. That probably made money. I don't know if the Superman movie made money or not. Maybe it did. Maybe Man of Steel made money. People love Henry Cavill, but he's been in some flops. He's definitely been in some flops. So maybe he, like, I don't know, he doesn't pick good movies or something like that. A24 election year gamble, the indie studio's biggest budgeted film, took in $11.1 million. They're talking about Civil War. Oh yeah, New York Civil War, Alex Garland, ominous American dystopia, which I also heard wasn't very good, remained the top film in theaters in its second week of release, according to studio estimates on Sunday. The A24 election year gamble, the indie studio's biggest budgeted film yet, took $11 million in. The $50 million film, set in the near future U.S., in which Texas and California have joined a rebellion against a fascist president, has grossed $44.9 million in 2 weeks. So that movie's not going to make money either. So Civil War is not going to make money. It's not going to be able to overcome a $50 million budget. Because remember, when they say a movie makes $50 million, that means that only $25 million made it back to the people that put together the movie. And also don't forget that there's an advertising budget that they don't talk about, which means usually double that budget. So $100 million they would have had to make. And then also on top of that, the reviews are terrible. Not only Nerdrotic, but Critical Drinker, I think they both said the movie was no good. So generally in the second week, I think you're going to see a pretty big drop. It's not like those guys have a pretty big reach. You know? I mean, those videos were seen by 2 million people at $15 a head. You know, that's $30 million in box office power. It was a painfully slow weekend in theaters. I was going to go see this movie, but I went and saw Abigail instead, which was essentially like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy with a group of thieves that end up being unintentional zombie hunters or vampire slayers. But they like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was actually a pretty good popcorn movie. Like, I wouldn't say run out and spend $30 to go see it, but I think if you rented it or you streamed it, you might like it. So anyway, painfully slow weekend in theaters. Sure to add concern over what's thus far been a down year for Hollywood. Year-to-date ticket sales are down almost 20% compared to last year, according to ComScore. Going into the weekend, Universal Pictures' Abigail, a critically acclaimed R-rated horror film about the daughter of Dracula, has been expected to lead in ticket sales. It came in second with just $10 million. That's still a fair result for a film that only cost $28 million to make. Abigail, which remakes the 1936 monster film Dracula's Daughter, about a 12-year-old taken by kidnappers who soon realize they've made a poor choice of a hostage. It's directed by these two people, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was pretty good, actually. That was pretty good. More concerning was the overall tepid response to a handful of new releases and the likelihood that there will be similar weekends throughout 2024. Horror films in recent years have been the most reliable cash cows in theaters and haven't thus far. Guy Ritchie's The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare debuted with just $9 million in 3,000 theaters. And based on a true story Lionsgate release, which reportedly cost $60 million to produce, Henry Cavill leads a World War II mission off the west coast of Africa. So that movie's going to lose $40 million. Like, they're just going to lose. They're going to lose their rear ends on that movie. Was it because of those statements? Probably not. I mean, if you look, the best movie only made $11 million this weekend. And then Abigail, $10 million. Godzilla X Kong, which I think has been out at least 2 weeks. But I can tell you what, he didn't sell any tickets. And I can tell you, at least for me, I would have seen the movie. I wanted to see the movie. But I'm not saying I won't see it either. People will say like, oh, well, are you that soft? You're not going to see the movie? I'll see it. I'm just not paying for it, you know. I'll watch it when someone else rents it, or I'll find another way to watch it. People say, "Oh, well, you're gonna take it. You're gonna be that soft. You're not gonna see a movie just because one actor's woke." No, that's not what I said at all. That's not what I said at all. What I did say was that I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to pay Alan Ritchson money. I think that that's just a totally fine, normal thing to do. Trump curse continues.